Fighter squadrons have become an important part of the Star Wars canon in recent months, from the Fantastic Squadrons video game to the haunting and beautiful Alphabet Squadron trilogy of books, and of course to the upcoming Rogue Squadron movie. We've heard a lot about squadrons in the world of Star Wars. But squadrons have been a part of the Star Wars universe since, well, the very beginning, and just like we're seeing in canon now, squadrons played an important role in Legends. So without further ado, let's jump into the world of Legends and look at the most important fighter squadrons. Hi everyone, I'm Nathan Emery, content creator here at Youtini, and I'll be your guide to the squadrons of Star Wars Legends. To start, we've got the squadrons that are introduced in the core of all Star Wars media, the original films. One of those is Gold Squadron, a cadre of Y-Wing bombers led by Captain John Vander. Gold Squadron likely gets its name from the markings on Y-Wing bombers, which are yellow in color. Gold Squadron fought in the Battle of Scarif, as we see in Rogue One, and then went on to fight in the Battle of Yavin in A New Hope. A reformed Gold Squadron was then commandeered by Lando Calrissian in the attack on the second Death Star in Return of the Jedi. Gold Squadron's counterpart in the original films is Red Squadron. If the gold markings of Y-Wings gave Gold Squadron its name, it's not hard to guess where Red Squadron probably got its name, from the red markings on Rebel X-Wings. Red Squadron fought in the same battles as Gold Squadron, and that's something you're probably familiar with, the call signs we hear in movies like Red Leader, standing by, Gold 2, standing by. But Gold Squadron and Red Squadron didn't go on to have a ton of Legends appearances. They show up in a few comics and video games, but they aren't the primary fighter squadrons of the Legends universe. So what are? The most important and famous squadron in Star Wars Legends is Rogue Squadron. Like Gold and Red Squadrons, Rogue Squadron actually makes its debut in the films in the Battle of Hoth. Again, you'll probably recognize the call signs if you think back to the Snowspeeders charging into battles against the Imperial Walkers. But unlike Gold and Red Squadrons, Rogue Squadron does go on to become a crucial part of Star Wars Legends. So the squadron's first Legends appearance is in the X-Wing comics from Michael Stackpole. Stackpole then adapted that comic series into a series of novels, the 10-book X-Wing series in Legends. Stackpole authors the majority of the books in the series, but Aaron Alston takes on a few as well. So in these books, Wedge Antilles trains and leads this elite group of pilots in defense of the fledgling New Republic. These books actually represent my personal favorite series in all of Legends. Their mix of adrenaline-filled action, character development, and political intrigue really serves both to advance the overall story of Star Wars Legends after the Battle of Endor, as the New Republic looks to stamp out Imperial remnants, as well as providing some of the best entertainment in the world of Star Wars Legends. And by the way, if you're looking to dive deeper into the world of Star Wars books, I've got some exciting news. Audible has partnered with Youtini to give you your first Star Wars audiobook completely free. All you've got to do is sign up at the link in the description. And hey, the Alphabet Squadron books might be a great place to start if you're interested in squadrons. There's also a number of Legends audiobooks available. With that, let's jump back to Rogue Squadron. So aside from the X-Wing series, Rogue Squadron plays an important part in Star Wars Legends. Throughout the world of post-Return of the Jedi Legends, Rogue Squadron plays an important role in some of the biggest battles. Remember, this is the most elite fighter squadron in the galaxy, so it's a recurring force in major series like the New Jedi Order. Rogue Squadron also appears in the series of video games with the same name. I remember having a ton of fun with the GameCube ones when I was younger. Notable pilots of Rogue Squadron include Wedge Antilles, of course, who initially forms and leads the squadron, Corran Horn, who goes on to become a Jedi, and Gavin Darklighter, who joins at 16 and eventually gains command of the squadron. Another important Legends squadron is Wraith Squadron. Now, Wraith is also established in the X-Wing books, specifically in Book 5 of the series, which is appropriately titled Wraith Squadron. Now, this group is established by Wedge, but for a somewhat different purpose than the Rogues. Whereas the Rogues were intended to be the most elite pilot strike force, Wraith was pitched by Wedge as a hybrid commando unit and fighter squadron. Wedge also proposed recruiting a group of outcasts, those who had the skills but were marginalized and never able to rise through the ranks of the military. With both of those aspects, it's much more of an experimental group than Rogue Squadron was. The Wraiths also go on to become an important part of Legends. They're a critical force in the fight against Warlord Singe, as well as in the battle against the Yuuzhan Vong invasion. Now, of course, there are numerous other fighting forces throughout Star Wars Legends. For example, in the New Jedi Order 19-book series, we see fighter squadrons made of coral from the invading Yuuzhan Vong, as well as other fighter squadrons on the Rebel side. So Rogue and Wraith squadrons are really the squadrons that shape how the Star Wars Expanded Universe characterizes pilots and fighter groups, and they're an integral part of the Legends story. And of course, they're the inspiration for present-day squadrons as well. So if you're looking forward to the Rogue Squadron movie or enjoying the video game, you might want to take a dive into Legends to familiarize yourself with Rogue Squadron and Wraith Squadron. Again, they're introduced in the X-Wing series of books, and that's a fantastic place to really get some knowledge about these squadrons and the way they fight. But they do go on to appear in a number of other Legends books, including later series like the New Jedi Order. Thank you for watching, and as always, may the Force be with you.